Hey guys, so today we're doing an anti-haul, which is a video where I talk about some things that I don't want, and then also some things I do want, and anything that I did buy. This is kind of like a what new makeup is being released, but mainly who asked for this, with just a sprinkle of I might have asked for this. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Like I said in the last few videos, YouTube is unsubscribing people, so if you remember being subscribed, please go check down below if you're still subscribed. Engagement really helps and all of that good stuff. Turn your post notifications to all rather than just personalized. Social media, main channel description, let's get into it. Let's start out with this gem. So there is a company called Surat, and they're releasing a new Noir Lash Tint, which is a unique Japanese-made metal brush and formula that allows you to coat every single lash, even the shortest, hardest to reach hairs. The smooth, intense black formula creates the effect of elongated, fuller lashes from corner to corner. Fast-drying, long-wearing, water-resistant, won't flake or smudge, but it is $50. $50 hairs. Incredible. I remember Hourglass came out with something along those lines. I think they still sell it. It is like you just buy the cartridges and I think you keep the metal like component, but here it seems like you have to keep on buying it every single time. Whereas I think the Hourglass one was more expensive, but you got to keep the component and put in new inks. Whereas this is, I think you just throw it out. $50. I will kindly pass on this. Then there's this brand called Unicorn Cosmetics. They've recently started releasing more makeup. I believe they used to mainly sell lashes and now they're actually releasing makeup. And they've released this eyeshadow palette called the Wicked palette. It's got 26 shades, bright and dark, matte and 8 shining shimmers, $29.99. It's vegan and cruelty free. So what they have is like this split pan thing. It annoys me because it's like, why? Why are some of the shades full size? Why are some of the shades half size? Why were those mixes created? Is it supposed to be like a duo look? Like you can just create a look with these two shades? I think they described this as like a new revolutionary idea, and then they were ripped a new one in the trend mood comment section because everyone was like, yeah, people have done this before and it's not even such a good idea. So they were getting ripped to shreds, which the trend mood comment section is one of the harshest places I've ever been. Like you could release something really incredible and everyone's just like, why would you ever do this? It's funny to read through it sometimes though. But this is just, I'm very confused as to why this was created the way it is. I like the embossed like little images on the eyeshadows, but other than that, I'm just kind of confused as to why, for example, they decided that a blue shade deserves a whole pan, but a red shade only deserves half a pan. Like where was the checklist for like which shade deserves what size? Elf is actually releasing these cream putty blushes, and they've released putty stuff before based on the, I think it was like the Tatcha primer, like the putty primer, and then Elf created like a dupe of it, and then now they're creating like more stuff to do with that consistency, and I'm kind of intrigued by this. I just wonder how this would sit on the skin and also sit on other makeup. Like I feel like if you have a putty texture to then put it on top of other things, could be debatable, but like I want to see people start using this, you know? XX Revolution is coming out with this like yellow golden collection, and the palette is so bland. Like these swatches don't make me feel some kind of way. Why is the top left corner just basically the same shade being repeated over and over and over again? Also, for a gold collection, there really aren't many gold shades in this palette. Like there are maybe 3 or 4, like 2 actual true gold shades, and the rest are just like variations of like bronze. This palette is boring, in my opinion. To me, it is boring. Then Pat McGrath is coming out with these like lip balms in a tin. She always has lip balms in a stick form, and now she has them in like a tin thing. And the thing is, this is basically Vaseline. Like I'm not making claims that this works the same way as Vaseline because it could be amazing, but as in like the concept is a Vaseline tub, but knowing Pat McGrath, this is going to be expensive for a Vaseline type product. And I just feel like they're so messy. Like I want something that I can just apply without really using my fingers. So this is not something I want. And also I just feel like this doesn't really suit the Pat McGrath brand. Like I feel like the Pat McGrath brand is so like grown up and so like, you know, like so to whip out like a little tin and go, like I'm in primary school again, it's kind of not something that I'm okay with. I think these are like £30. Like they're expensive. Okay, so I'm going to pass very kindly, very beautifully, very nicely. Elf's coming out with more skincare. There is a cleanser and then there is like a balm cleanser. So they're doing like the 2-step cleansing routine. And I think it's really good because I feel like right now, it kind of seems like the whole balm oil first cleanse thing is kind of exclusive to higher end skincare brands like Drunk Elephant and Glow Recipe, and you don't really find many drugstore skincare brands that do a double cleanse method. So I'm glad e.l.f. is coming into that niche market and saying, hey, we have a double cleanse method for more affordable products, you know? So it's just nice. Huda Beauty is coming out with this Naughty palette. There is some like marble shades, there is some matte shades, some regular just metallic shades, and then there is that shade in the left bottom corner called Slippery, and it's like a gel formula with some like balls of pigment in there, and it just looks like a virus. It looks like an illness. It looks like something you'd see under a microscope in a lab. I'm so intrigued. I want to buy this purely just to touch that shade and then call it a night. Like the rest of the palette is something I have 10 times over. I probably have that palette with other Huda Beauty palettes that I have, like those mini nude ones, Nude Obsessions ones. I really don't need this. It's just that shade down there. I want to touch it. I want to know what it feels like. I want to know what it looks like. From swatches, it kind of looks disappointing. I watched someone review this palette and it looks like it's got basically no pigment in it. It looks like a gloss. And then the marble shades, I'm just wondering if you can always get like an even color. Like, are you going to get the same color on both eyes, or is it going to be slightly lighter on one side and slightly darker on the other side? Questions need to be asked because the rest of this palette is boring. Like, what's naughty about this except for that slippery shade? Not much. Colourpop almost had me again. They came out with a Star Wars Mandalorian collaboration with the baby Yoda, and it's just so cute. It's such a beautiful palette, except for this wasn't a whole collection. It was literally just the palette, and I never ordered just one thing from Colourpop because the shipping just makes no sense. I think you have to spend at least $60 or $70 for free shipping. Like, I already bought Colourpop like 3 times this month, so had nothing else to add into my cart, so I didn't get this, but I think they're restocking it this month. If you missed it the first time, they're restocking again, and if by then they come out with some other collections that I really like, then maybe I'll throw this in there. But if I don't have anything else that I'm interested in, I just won't get it, even though it's so beautiful, it's so cute, the packaging is adorable. This is basically a novelty product. Like, I have these shades somewhere in my collection, but for a collector mindset that I have, this is stunning. This is so good. And Nikita Dragun is coming out with her Morphe collaboration. And for the fact that Morphe dropped Jeffree Star because he's too controversial, but still are collabing with Nikita Dragun, that kind of blows my mind. I like how I couldn't form a proper sentence. This palette is boring. There was like a video promoting this and they made it look like this whole palette was going to be like a neon green thing. And there's only one neon green shade. The whole top row is just browns and nudes and a black. Then there's some reds and yellows, then there's like a blue, then there's some pinks, and then there's a green. Like, tell me you don't have this. Like, I could find all of these shades somewhere in my collection. Then Cover FX is coming out with this Custom Enhancer palette. So they have their Custom Enhancer drops, and they're using their 3 best-selling shades, turning them into a pressed powder, and putting it into a palette. Now hear me out. There is a super deep shade for the skin tone of the girl kind of in the top right corner. Then there is a middle shade for essentially the girl in the right bottom corner, and then there is a pinky shade for the girl in the bottom left corner. Now they can't all use all of those shades. Like, how about instead of releasing them as a trio, why weren't they just released separately so that everyone can buy a highlighter for their skin tone instead of having to buy a highlighter palette where they can only essentially use one shade? Like, unless you mix them all together, you're not going to be able to use all of them. It's $42 as well, which I'm kind of like, okay. And it's infused with vitamin C to help protect against free radicals, but don't you just put highlight right here, kind of in like tiny bits on your face? Like, why would you need vitamin C in those areas? Also, you're putting it on top of a bunch of makeup, because highlight's one of the last things you put on your skin, so like, it's not going to penetrate through all your makeup. I'm just so confused by this. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know who asked for this. I don't know who wants this. Then Revolution's coming out with yet another Friends collection. They literally just came out with the Friends collection. Now they're doing like a part 2. This is still not sold out on Beauty Bay. The first collection sold out really quickly. This one's still all available. So I'm assuming people are just kind of like, didn't you just do this like 2 weeks ago? I never watched Friends, so I have zero interest in this. Then Juvia's Place is coming out with a big palette. I don't think they've ever come out with a palette this big. It looks really pretty. The thing is, these shades are so repetitive. So there's 2 navy shades at the top, and then there's like a blue and a glitter, and then there's 2 navy. So like, you've got 6 shades that essentially just look the same, and they're gonna look the same on the eyes. Like, you're not really gonna see much difference between Amiibo and Bold. Like, realistically, are you gonna see much of a difference between those 2 and Nawa? Oh, like, are you going to see a difference between those on the eyes? Not particularly. This feels like a repetitive palette. I'm not too interested in it, considering there's like 3 rows of blue shades. Then there's 1 row of like silvery shades, one row of like turquoise, one row of like neutrals, and then a few pinks and a purple. I just feel like there's a lot of repetition here. This could have realistically been cut down to like half the size, and it would have been just as like the same, like it would have been the same color story essentially. So that's why I'm not getting it. Melt's coming out with a Beetlejuice collection, and the palettes, I don't know if it's just the lighting, but a lot of the palettes seem like there are a lot of repetitive shades in there, like just the same thing again and again. And also the palettes are 2 different sizes. Like one is I think 8 shades and one is 10 shades, but they're the same shape, so you would think they would be the same size. For how many repeating shades there are, they could have made them just 8 and 8 instead of 8 and 10. Like I need to see this on like Beauty Bay. I need to see what each of the shades looks like, because right now with this kind of lighting, it all just kind of looks the same to me. Revolution's coming out with a Disney collection. I feel like Disney really is just selling themselves out. Like they're just giving the rights to their stuff to literally any company that asks for it. Like I could probably go to Disney and be like, hey, do you guys want to collab on something? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. Let's do something. How about we just like tone it down a little bit? Like there is just so much Disney stuff coming out. This is kind of boring. What also I've noticed is the palettes, they're joined together. So the face palette and the eyeshadow palette is the same palette. There's just like a flap, like you close it like a book. That kind of irks me, because let's say I wanted to buy Princess and the Frog eyeshadow palette, I'd have to also get the face palette, but the face palette is for people with deeper skin tones. And then let's say someone who is the skin tone of the Princess and the Frog collection, but they want to buy the Cinderella eyeshadow palette, they can't, because they won't be able to use the face palette. So you're essentially just like losing half of the palette because you can't use it. So that just makes no sense to me. I wish they had just separated it, because this makes no sense. Peter Thomas Roth is coming out with these brightening hydro gels for under the eyes. It's like a vitamin C kind of a thing, and they're $65. I want to know who's paying for this. Then Nabla is coming out with a whole collection. They have this palette, they have lip liners, lip products, the quad of glitters. Like they released the Miami Lights one, and now they're releasing the Ruby Lights one, which looks very beautiful. It is a glitter formula, but apparently it doesn't flake quite as much as regular glitter formulas. They've never really released a super like nude neutrals collection, so this is the first time they've done this, and it looks amazing. I am tempted, but I just bought a bunch of neutral palette, like nudie palettes from Colourpop, so I'm just like, I think I have everything I need. As much as this is really tempting, and I've never tried the Nabla like formula, I'll just wait for something else that pops up. Makeup by Mario is coming out with some Christmas stuff, and they're calling, so this is the second launch, and now they've kind of like essentially rebranded it into a Christmas collection. He's added like some new quads to this and stuff like that. I just mainly want to talk about the Master Mattes Pro Lip Palette. Yeah, so the thing is, I don't see many people actually buying this who aren't makeup artists, but makeup artists don't really buy stuff from Sephora. They have like their own shops for makeup artists stuff. I remember Anastasia Beverly Hills came out with this and they quickly stopped selling it because people were just not buying it, because this isn't really convenient. You can't really touch up because you're not going to take this with you on the go. I'm very confused by the Makeup by Mario collection, because some of the things seem really like for the regular person, and then some things are very like makeup artists. So it kind of just seems like the brand is confused, if I may say so myself. Like some products are for some audience and then other products are for a different audience, and it kind of gets a little bit confusing as to who this brand is aimed at. Because for example, along with this lip palette, which is clearly for makeup artists, he's also releasing some quads, which makeup artists don't buy quads, because if they had to just like buy quads, their whole collection would just be full of quads. Like it just takes up too much space. They buy huge palettes full of like shades. So it just seems like there's really no cohesive clientele for this. Glamlight is coming out with another addition to their like food stuff. This is the Burger Slider palette. It's like a small palette. I like the blue shade in the middle and I like the blue shade on the left. I'm not interested in this. This is like so bulky for 9 shades. It's like that puffy like vibe. I don't know. Nothing that Glamlight has released yet has completely like 100% sold me. Like I need something to be like, this is it. I need it. They either release palettes that could just be small and compact, but then they make them bulky for no reason, or they release super huge palettes with like a bunch of shades, which also doesn't work for me. So P. Louise is coming out with a skincare line. So they're releasing like a texture treatment thing that you put on your skin to exfoliate and stuff like that. So it melts away makeup, leaving skin hydrated with the appearance of smoother and softer skin. So it's made in England, developed with you in mind. Natural fruit extracts that cleanse, exfoliate and unclog pores. I don't know if I trust P. Louise with skincare. I just kind of wish makeup brands would stick to makeup and skincare brands would stick to skincare, because then you know that they're doing it to their best like capabilities rather than trying to be the best at both. And they're also releasing like an eye toning thing. Just not. I've never been interested by anything that P. Louise has released. I can't I don't know. Sugarpill's coming out with this Halloween 2020 collection, which I'm kind of late on. It's $42 for 10 eyeshadows, metallic and matte textures. They're pressed pigments and a blush in a pill-shaped palette with mirror and magnetic closure. So I'm assuming one of those is a blush, like the big one probably. I mean, they're kind of cool, but also just like, they're all different sizes and that kind of irks me a little bit. KKW's coming out with new Correct, Conceal, Bake and Brighten stuff. So she has 4 color correctors for 4 different skin tones, 4 pressed powders, 4 loose powders, and then like more concealers. And I think she's releasing the concealers in a bigger size as well if you want like a bigger concealer for like a better price per milliliter, I'm assuming. I don't really use color correctors. I don't know why I said I don't really use them, because I don't use them at all. It's not even like a rare occurrence. I just never use them. I don't have any color correctors in my collection, and I'm not going to order concealers and powders from KKW when I can just order it from a website that's not going to charge me a bunch in customs and shipping and so on and so forth. Then Kimchi's coming out with some of their last products from those heart collections. It's like this highlight that's kind of like a duochrome vibe, and that's that on that. Colourpop came out with this collection and it almost got me. I added it all to my cart and then I took it all out my cart and I said, no, I just ordered Pat McGrath palettes, I can't do it. So I left it. But I think, you know, some of these are very stunning. Like I think the colour stories are very nice. The blushes look amazing. The lip duos look super stunning for like autumn, winter vibes. I don't know, the packaging's stunning. I think this is such a nice collection. If you don't have anything that looks like this, I think it'd be like a really good addition to your collection. For me, I have this, I don't need this, even though the packaging's really cute. Viseart's coming out with quads. So you know how they do the small palettes? They've done like 8s, they've done 6 pans, and now they're doing quads. So they have this one and then they have like a pink one. I've never really been drawn to Viseart. I feel like I get it, quality, whatever. It's fine, like quality, MUA type stuff. But none of the color stories have ever like drawn me in. I get it's supposed to be like basics, like you have the warm shade and you have colorful and then you have cool tones and so on and so forth, and I get it, but it's not something that I need in my collection. Even the small ones, I know everyone says they love them because they're like tiny and, you know, they don't take up much space, but you still get the shades that you can use and create a look with. I'm just not ever interested. There's not a single one that I'm like, oh, I need it. I've tried to force myself to like one of them so that I could try them out, but like there's not a single one where I'm like, I need that palette right now. Even these, like they look nice. I don't need it. Dolce & Gabbana's coming out with a makeup line. Of course they are. And it looks so tacky. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know who created this, but it just looks really tacky and also doesn't look like good quality. I'm going to get into it. They have these lip products. Then they have these, which are like 3 glosses, 1 liner, 2 highlights. Let me show you guys these swatches. This is the highlight. Looks decent enough. And then here's the eye powder liner. This is an eye powder eyeliner. Let's just swiftly move along. Thank you. Vidi Vici is coming out with like a Starbucks collaboration. So there is a single eyeshadow in copper gold with a keychain pouch and a lip balm in dark plum with a keychain pouch. I get the whole lip balm in a keychain pouch. I think that's kind of cute, but who just carries a single eyeshadow around? Like, does anyone carry a single eyeshadow and then top up their eyeshadow? I'm asking questions here that need to be answered. One Size Beauty's coming out with a powder. So they're coming out with 2 powders, I believe. It's just 2 shades, 1 deep and then 1 translucent. Nothing from One Size has drawn me in. I think the palette was quite nice, but other than that, I'm just kind of uninterested. They only sell in Sephora as well, so I can't really get it anywhere, even if I wanted to try it and give it, you know, a shot. And also just none of it looks that interesting. And he's also coming out with these lashes, which look, I don't want to be mean, these just aren't my style. They're not pretty to me. I don't find them cute looking. I think these are so thick. I don't know if you could even be able to see through them. They're just like these like little flappers. I don't like these at all. I hate big lashes on me. I hate thick, bulky lashes on me. I think they just look awful. Like I can't. I just wear mascara and that's all I do and I think it looks fine. I rarely wear eyelashes, and if I do, they're super like natural, wispy. These are not my thing. The bottom ones are slightly less dramatic than the top ones. The top ones just look like bunches of hair, which is basically what lashes are, but they look like they've just been like cut into little rectangles. Like they're not even flared out properly. They're just like little bunches. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why these are the ones they decided to come out with. I get that Patrick Star is kind of dramatic, full glam, full beat. I love that, but this is not for the average consumer. Like I get it. Patrick Star might feel really comfortable wearing these, but I feel like if you're aiming for like a Sephora customer, then these lashes aren't really the thing that's gonna sell. But I mean, what do I know, really? I don't have a makeup brand. The only thing out of this whole collection I feel like is a really good idea is the puff, because it has a like straight edge and then a round edge, and he always bakes under like the contour and stuff like that, and I feel like the straight edge would be really good for cutting the contour here if you bake there. So I think that's really appropriate for Patrick Star, but other than that, this collection just does not do it for me. Linda Hallberg Cosmetics is coming out with this eyeshadow palette, which to me just looks really like, you know, average, kind of normal, nothing too crazy. I saw this on Beauty Bay, I looked at it, I'm just not that intrigued by it. If I didn't have many eyeshadow palettes, I would probably get this, but I have too many at this point to buy something that I'm kind of lukewarm about. P. Louise is also coming out with a cancelled collection. So if you guys don't know, P. Louise had a bit of a scandal where she went to a Drake concert and on her Instagram story she sung the N-word that was in the song, and then instead of apologizing she said that her black boyfriend is okay with it and her black friends are okay with her saying it, so she doesn't really understand why people are outraged, even though her black friends or black boyfriend don't speak for the whole community, so it's kind of a weird excuse to use. And now she came out with a cancelled collection to basically just be like, lol, cancelled. Smoky Glow Hannah made a really good video about this. If you guys want to watch it, just about this whole situation, how people use cancel culture to sell more products. And she's, I think, donating like 10% of the sales to like a cyberbullying thing, but weird. This is so bulky as well. She called this palette revolutionary, never done before. It's a Morphe palette, just a different shape and size, but it's a Morphe palette. So some of the products are called the Read All About It Cancelled palette, the Re-White Fresh Ink Paint and Brush Duo, that's a mouthful, a Feed Black Fresh Ink Paint and Brush Duo in black, P. Louise is trash, 12 new brushes, and that's it. Then I went on Cult Beauty, and I sometimes go on Cult Beauty and Beauty Bay like every few days, and then I go on makeup and kind of what's new and just seeing kind of what's been added to the website. And Hourglass is selling a vegan brush collection, very nice. There is a few eyeshadow brushes, kabuki brushes, some face brushes, like duo brushes with a little case. £640. 640 pounds. I'm gonna skip swiftly along. Anastasia Beverly Hills is coming out with new lipsticks, like bullet lipsticks. There's satin ones and matte ones in this beautiful packaging. I'm obsessed. I want them, even though I don't need them. I want them. I've tried bullet lipsticks from Anastasia Beverly Hills before and I wasn't obsessed with the formula, but I'm hoping that these are maybe a bit different considering they're satin rather than matte. So I'm hoping maybe they're a different formula, like reformulated. Then maybe I'll try them, but I'm kind of on the fence about it. Kaleidos is coming out with a new highlight, which is a multi-chrome. It's called the Prophecy one. And literally today, Kaleidos sent me the whole collection of their Space Age highlighters, including the Prophecy one. So I have it now. I've unpackaged all of them. So they're in there just little tins. They came in like the actual like cardboard boxes, but I've kept them in here. I'm probably going to keep them in this. I think it's amazing. I think this is so cool. I'm just going to keep them like this. I already had these three from when I received PR last time from them. They asked me if I wanted a few older products. I asked for these three highlights and they sent them to me, but now they've sent me the whole collection. So I gave these three to my mum. Well, no, I gave the new ones to my mum. I kept the used ones. These are amazing. Every single shade here is incredible, stunning, beautiful. I have this one on my cheeks today. It's the Comet Dasher. It's like a hot pink shift. Then we have the three I already showed you. Then we have a few of these, like for example, this Skywalker, which is a blue glitter. You literally cannot see the shift on camera. Like, I'm sorry guys. It's just not gonna show up. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, kind of, but this is basically blue, like icy blue, very pretty. They've also reformulated Mars Melter, so this is the new one. I've never had the old one, but this on deeper skin tones would be incredible. They made it like a peachy gold, which I think is stunning. This is what that one looks like. I used it as a blush topper today, just like right here, and I think it looks stunning. They also have this one, which is amazing. Solar Sailor has a yellow shift. These all have different formulas, which is very interesting. They have these really smooth ones, which are like this. Like you can see there is not a single like grain of anything in there. Then they have regular like metallic ones. For example, like this one is a little bit more chunky, but it's just like a regular metallic. And then they have these like super chunky glittery ones. which are like, you can see they're like more grainy and they come out looking like that rather than like that. Let me just show you this. Yeah, these are so smooth. Look at that. Let me just show you the difference. These are the 3 formulas they basically have. Like they have this smooth one, then they have like a regular metallic, and then they have like a super chunky one. I think these are incredible. These two, right, Solar Sailor and Comet Catcher, are basically the 2 Pat McGrath highlights from the trio. This is a white to hot pink and this is a white to yellow gold, and that's exactly what the Pat McGrath wants to look like, and it's a very similar formula. They're like the smooth. And then they have this one, which I actually dropped today. Literally as I opened the box, I dropped it, which means I dented it right here. I don't know if you can see, and I kind of, it didn't break, but I had to press it back in a tiny bit. And this one is Moon Cruiser, and it's kind of like a lilac shift. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, these are so beautiful. I love all of these, but they sent me all of this because of the Prophecy one. It's a different tin and it is insane. You can't really see it. It's got like a regular base, like a translucent base. It's so smooth, silky smooth. Okay, so it's blue from that angle, orange from this angle, maybe a different angle. No, I mean, it's kind of difficult to show these just on camera because they obviously are multi-chromes. Any kind of like shifts are very difficult to show on camera. But as you can see from the promo pictures, it looks amazing. Like I can't wait to use it on my face. I don't know why I didn't use it today, but I think I was just kind of thinking I'm gonna go in order of how I tried them. So like I've tried these 3, I tried this one, and then I'll just keep on going. And I have a few more to try, but I'm just so grateful for getting this. Look how amazing it is. Wow. I'm gonna keep it just like this. So I'm super excited about that. I think that one looks amazing. Then Trixie Cosmetics is coming out with this. I don't really look good in pinks like that. I don't think they're like something that I'll wear on a regular basis. So I'm just gonna kind of pass, but I think the packaging with the heart shape is so cute. Then KKW is also coming out with this collection, which is one of the most boring things I've seen in a while. Let's just keep it moving. And then Patrick Tar is coming out with like a skin gloss, and I've just never been to skin glosses. I like liquid highlights, I like cream highlights, I like stuff like that, but glosses make me feel a bit icky, like on the skin, like my hair just getting stuck into it and then getting stuck into my lips as well. Because I wear lip gloss on my lips and then gloss on my cheeks, and then I just imagine it breaking up my foundation really badly, so I'm gonna pass. And that will be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time I think of something to do. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, main channel, affiliate links, any other links in the description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.